4, and now it's a team with their sights set on the postseason.
This is the oldest team in women's college basketball, over 21 years of age, and the transfers that you're talking about are all experienced and all come from winning programs.
Yeah. Home whites for TCU, and here's Zoe Brooks for NC State. Last year went from unranked in the preseason to the Final Four in the national semis. And the pull-up J is good from Zamaria Jones, the freshman out of Greenville, North Carolina.
Who is not shy? Taking that first shot on the road. NC State being very patient and executing, getting good ball reversal. And this is something you'll see TCU do. They have 72% of their baskets are assisted behind the playmaking skills of Haley Van Lith.
Van Lith on the drive, the shot bothered by Mallory Collier. Jumper rattled in and out from Jones. And now Hunter the other way, the bump, and it counts.
Both teams' transition defense is going to be tested today. The long rebound results in numbers the other way for TCU. A little bump, not enough to draw a foul early, but now you got to adjust to the whistle if that's the way the game is going to be called.
Fouls on Zoe Brooks. The free throw no good from Donovan Hunter, the transfer from Oregon State, who was a member of the All Pac-12 freshman team last year, went with the Beavers to the Elite 8.
Man-to-man defense by TCU. Westmore going to go into his playbook early and try to get Sanaya Rivers going in the mid-range game. That's a big part of her ability to score offensively.
There is the starting 5 for TCU. 3 of those players are at their 3rd different university, and hoping that the 3rd time is the charm. Jones again, and after hitting her first, misses a couple. This is a really good perimeter-oriented NC State team. A little short right now in terms of depth in the middle and experience. The drive by Collier, and a held ball, Madison Connor.
This lineup for NC State, there will be times where Westmore will play 5 guards while they're working on the interior, getting a little more experience. Mallory Collier getting the start right here. And you see Madison Hayes has to be big on the glass. This is where NC State gets a little undersized, is in that 4 spot, which Madison plays 3 and 4 for Westmore.
Now in his 12th season at NC State, his 36th year as a head coach. And the bucket is good from Sedona Prince.
And Beth, that's what makes Sedona Prince unique at 6'7". There's not many 6'7s in the women's game that can step out and score with range. She's also very good in their pick and pop game.
Some token pressure there after the make from TCU.
Well, they're going to bring pressure all game. NC State's going to have to be really good in their decision-making, especially on the backside of pressure.
Rivers had it knocked loose by Van Lith. It'll stay at this end. Who does NC State turn to without Isaiah James in the starting lineup tonight? They've always had pretty good balance, and anybody capable of dropping 20 on you in this perimeter.
Without Isaiah James on the floor, the leading scorer, Jones, the freshman, gets her back-to-back start. Zoe Brooks didn't play in the last game because her grandfather passed.
Shot clock winding down, they have to jack. Unaware on the inbound, so shaky out of the gate.
And that's where Westmore looks at his veteran backcourt and Madison Hayes and Sanaya Rivers and says, hey, you guys got to have some time and score awareness here.
Taylor Bigby.
I would run, and what Mark Campbell's doing is running a lot of stuff for Sedona Prince right now to get her isolated in a short roll game or in a pick and pop game against the defense of NC State.
Hunter's shot goes around and out.
Zoe Brooks constantly probing, pushing.
Rivers off the bounce, gets to the left side and up and over Prince.
Really nice job in the 2-man. The switch and the attack in the second level by Sanaya Rivers. That's where she's really good for NC State.
Van Lith and Prince, boy, could they be a dynamic duo this year for the Horned Frogs. Haley pulls up and knocks it down.
I'm expecting that to be one of the best two-man games in the women's game. That those two that you just mentioned, Beth, Van Lith and Prince, really tough in space.
Final Four experience, big game experience in both the ACC and the SEC, or stops at Louisville and LSU.
And TCU forcing a contested jump shot.
Big beat. In and out.
That's where, in transition, both these teams can't just sprint back to the paint. You got to sprint back to the three-point line and make sure you match up early. Just looking for Collier inside, trying to post her up.
Jones, pull up, and one. The contact from Connor on the shot.
We see freshmen come into the women's game with incredible confidence.
Ready to go.
Look at Zam Jones, right? A little shimmy, pull up Jay. I didn't see the foul there, but she's going to the free throw line.
And she gets it.
You know, as the players continue to evolve and get better, get quicker, get better playing in space, officials got to make sure they're on the right angles to be able to see things.
That's been a point of emphasis this year for the officials. Prince had the first shot blocked, not the second. After stops at Texas and Oregon, where she was with Mark Campbell, who was an assistant coach.
Both teams missing wide open triples early.
Neither side has been able to dial it in just yet. Connor will give it a go. One of the best three-point shooters in the country. In and out.
Both teams like to advance, pass, and run.
Zan Jones, that one go. It's a track meet early.
No whistle for a little bit here.
Van Lith. Teams may be settling a little bit right now.
Absolutely.
Getting tired.
You got to get into your second and third actions against both these teams, so you got to put them in help and put them in rotation.
Jones, they're trying to ice her. She's able to get back to the right side, and she'll pull up and knock it down.
Westmore dialing it up for the freshman on the road.
She's got 7 of their 9 in the early NC State lead. And Isaiah James getting set to check in as well at the next whistle for NC State.
3 bags of fluid yesterday, was physically sick, but he's going to try to give it a go here as Prince knocks down another face-up jump shot.
She starts out the day 3 for 5, already with 3 rebounds. Tremendous shot blocker as well. They set the trap. Brooks able to get out of it. Rivers attacks and is rejected. Got a good one brewing here in Fort Worth. A 1-point game in the first. Born and raised in Dallas.
His family brought almost 50 tickets for the game here.
And Isaiah James, their star player, who's been under the weather, feeling sick the last few days, will put up her first shot and knock it down.
Not even a sweat. One dribble and pull up.
Is it a Michael Jordan flu game in the offense?
How about that?
Stakes may not be as high, but good drive. Hayes comes away with it after the block. Both teams love to push. Brooks had that shot contested. And a foul on TCU.
Isaiah James, a couple of seconds into the game, gets one catch, hands down, a little shake, uses the bounce to create some separation and drills it from the top of the floor. I think her toe was on the line. I think they ruled it a 2.
That, by the way, was the second foul on Madison Connor as Brooks misses at the free throw line, but Boy, are they happy that James is back out there, the senior from Virginia Beach. Spectacular in last year's NCAA tournament, averaged 23 a game in guiding them to the Final Four. Shot 50% from downtown.
She's on the Madison Connor assignment right now. Best three-point shooter in the Big 12 last year.
This is a TCU team that all the transfers have come together quickly. Good chemistry, good fit, good roles for all of them to play. They think they have a shot at the Big 12 this year, and it certainly would look that way on paper.
Well, K-State was picked to win the league. They right now have 5 players averaging in double figures. TCU picked 4th in the Big 12.
Iowa State, Baylor should be strong again. With the departures of Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC, this league could be ripe for the picking. Brooks with Van Lith defending. And here is James. She'll try again, the lefty. Misses on that 3 attempt.
NC State really good playing off that screening action, and they got the floor spaced. Both these coaches do an excellent job of teaching concepts in the 3-on-3 game. Basketball is basically 3-on-3 concepts.
Well, that should be good for Haley Van Lith. She won a bronze medal at the Olympics this summer in 3-on-3. Prince muscling her way up against Williamson, and she'll go to the line. And look at the emotion from Sedona. After all she's overcome, injury-riddled in her career, the grad student out of Liberty Hill, Texas, knows this could be a big season.
When you spend time with Sedona, you know there is pure joy to be healthy, having a great offseason, playing with veteran guards that allows her to do her thing. She demands a double, but you have to really be careful about who you leave on the perimeter because they all can shoot the triple.
How about the matchups around the Big 12 this year? Audie Crooks, Ayoka Lee, now Prince in the paint for TCU.
TCU just taking time off the shot clock, forcing NC State deeper into their sets.
8 minutes into this one, already 7 lead changes. Back and forth we go. James got it.
So smooth, so good. That young woman averaged 4 points a game her freshman year, playing behind Kai Crutchfield and Reina Perez. And all she did was stay patient, work on her game.
Rivers with the pick, and Sanaya will lay it up and in.
I think Sanaya Rivers is one of the best defenders in the country, not just on the ball, but her ability to read on the weak side. She keeps her engine revved up on that side of the floor so she can make a play. NC State icing ball screens, meaning they're trying to keep the ball on one side of the floor.
Brooks with the rebound, and NC State will have numbers here as they push. Zoe around the back, up and in!
Showtime! Come on! Really?
What a move by Brooks. Van Lith, back to Prince. Perfect pick and roll execution.
That's dangerous. Mark it down, coaches in the Big 12. Trying to guard that is not easy.
Mark Campbell was telling us pregame how impressed he's been with Haley Van Lith's vision and her passing ability now that she's got a lot of targets around her again this year.
Good spacing.
5 on the shot clock. Brooks probing. Off the cross. Good defense. And a couple of seconds left here for TCU to work with.
That's twice NC State's had shot clock violations. And in a game like this, every possession matters. You have to be able to execute in a crowd in this environment.
Van Lith launches. Entertaining first story here is all the transfers that have come in. Everybody in the starting lineup from somewhere else, and now finding a home here at TCU and coming together quickly, Debbie.
You know, I think teams do come together quickly because they're together since June. All this stuff about chemistry in the early season, I don't get it. I mean, it's concepts, and if you have skill and you have talent, then you can play together and you can win.
Yep, been playing pickup all summer, been rolling through the whole preseason, and this is a team that has winners and has experienced starters from other schools that have injected something special here into TCU women's hoops.
By the way, Oklahoma has the most production returning. That's why TCU is second.
This is a big day for TCU because they also have Notre Dame and South Carolina on the schedule in the next couple of weeks. And one of the biggest stretches in their history, and what can they do with it as Van Lith gets the assist from Prince this time.
Really nice job working without the ball. Isaiah James up the line, great time to back cut.
Again, that pressure, trying to slow things down a bit for NC State, maybe get that turnover to speed it up the other way, and tough shot there for Lizzie Williamson.
Not a lot of offensive rebounding in this game, right? Both teams worried about transition defense, both sprinting back.
Yeah, a lot of one-and-done trips.
I mean, you're going to give something up. I'm giving up offensive rebounding, too. I don't want layups on the other end.
Here's James. The only blemish on their record this year is a loss to South Carolina, #1 in the country, and James is not feeling the effects of the illness.
Patient, waits on the screen, knows Sedona Prince is in drop coverage, gets to the nail, doesn't over-penetrate. Really nice job by NC State.
Here's Connor. Oh, James went under the screener.
That Madison
didn't get burned.
Madison Connor's calculating that right now.
Heck of a first half for Prince. She's already got 13 to go with 6 rebounds in 12 minutes.
Beth, when you have 6'7" that can play like she can and spread the floor, you know, around her, so many weapons for TCU.
Both sides still wanting for a three-pointer. They're a combined 0 for 14. Van Lith, there's that two-man game again. Good help weak side to knock it out of bounds from Hayes.
That's why you got to stay active on the weak side, and Madison Hayes does a really nice job.
Hey, we've got the #1 team in women's basketball coming up on ESPN2 Wednesday. Top-ranked South Carolina taking on Clemson. Our coverage begins at 5 Eastern from Little John Arena. And check out Carolina, defending national champs, as Van Lith is able to hang and hit.
Same concept. Drop coverage, snake behind that ball screen. Excellent job in decision-making by Haley Van Lith.
Yet another lead change.
See, that's where you got to pass it a little bit, Beth. See, NC State right now, 39% of their baskets assisted on the season. They got 3 players on the floor that all had over 100 assists last year.
And they've only got 1 so far. A lot of dribbling and putting it up. Van Lith. James pushed Prince out of the way. And she looks over to Westmore and says, hey, quit going underneath. That'll be the first on Isaiah. It was not on the shooter, so TCU will inbound.
Under overhead strap, ice jam, switch drop. The 8 different ways you can guard a ball screen. Not pushing through is not one of them.
You can't run through. And now the quick whistle on Zam Jones for getting a little handsy.
One of the things that Mark Campbell talked to us about was he was going to learn if his team would handle adversity. He knew he would have some in this game because he respected NC State's backcourt and Westmore.
Prince will try for 3. Off the mark.
And what you see is 2-2-1 pressure by TCU consistently. Only one time have we really seen them trap over midcourt. It's just a press to take some time off the shot clock. When you have the kind of playmakers that NC State has, you don't want to give them a lot of time to be able to run through their stuff.
Van Lith checks out. Hunter is on. Wins over Houston Christian, New Orleans, and Texas State for TCU at 3-0. This is a big step up And a big challenge for them here this afternoon against the 13th ranked Wolfpack. James hits for three, and that's the first one for either side today.
Now if Isaiah James wants to break off the play anytime she wants, she's allowed to.
She got the green light?
Yes. The rhythm has really slowed down for both teams. The offensive cadence through their quarter court is really slower than the beginning of the game.
Tilda Trieger is in now for NC State, defending on Prince, and the blow-by for Donovan Hunter.
I mean, you got to guard your player. Jones opened up her body and her footwork and allowed her to drive to the lane.
That was close to a backcourt violation.
And Trieger does have three-point range.
Brooks, step back three. Got it!
Good decision there by Zoe Brooks, much better than the last time.
She wanted to quiet down the TCU football team. They are all in attendance, and they were shouting air ball at her from her last shot, so she makes amends there. And now Zoe's got a rebound to go with it. James on the run. Good fast break for State.
One of those 100-plus assist guards in the backcourt, Zoe Brooks for NC State from last year.
Matches the largest lead for either side here in the first half.
See the ice, how Jones turns her body, tries to keep Hunter on one side of the floor.
Connor kicks it back outside. Big B for three. And that's a couple in a row now for TCU.
I love that throwback pass. You get all direction going to the strong side, and you throw it back to the weak side.
James unattended.
Beth, remember we started the game talking about backside scoring for NC State against this pressure. They are getting looks. That was a great look for James.
Connor! Three in a row for the Horned Frogs. And now they are back in front. And Westmore says, I've seen enough of that perimeter defense. I got to get Rivers back in the game.
We've been talking spacing. And the spacing for TCU, you get to the nail, the throwback, the wide open triple. And the next time down, hands down in transition. Come on. Give me that all night.
Up to Coach Sonny Dykes, who we're told every year gives his guys an afternoon off to come watch the women play. And
from film.
Yes. We saw them practicing early.
Yeah, they were
Don't
practicing.
get us wrong.
Right.
They're getting ready for Arizona this weekend.
What a beautiful football stadium right adjacent to this arena. Look at Zoe Brooks.
And she walks.
Look, there's 4 white jerseys in the paint. And I know Zoe's trying to break it down off the bounce, but move the ball. Especially when you have Lacey Steele on the floor for NC State. Try to get her into a rhythm three.
I'm knocking on wood trying to avoid the announcer jinx, but a real clean first half. Not a lot of whistles, not a lot of turnovers. Prince fades and hits.
Come on, unguardable right there. That play, you cannot guard. And that skill will transfer to the WNBA.
That's 6'7" in her 7th season at the age of 24.
Yeah, there are a bunch of old ladies on this team is what Haley Van Lith says. She said before practice every day, they're all in the hot tub together because they got to get loose.
It is the most experience in the power leagues. Hunter has the rebound and a chance for TCU to add to its biggest lead. It's been tight, a lot of lead changes back and forth. Van Lith kicks it back outside, off the bounce. Short on the drive for Robertson.
Robertson, that time, same play. This time she puts it on the deck. Last time she knocked down a triple. Five out right here for NC State. Even with Trieger, the 6'6" freshman on the floor.
Steele. Scoop shot won't go.
That's not her game.
I think she was fooled by the crowd fake countdown of the shot clock. There was still 8 seconds left.
She's got to get a catch and shoot three. That's how she can help NC State.
Van Lith with the cross.
And that was a good right there stunt. Recover back to the strong side shooter, because you never want to come off the shooter in the corner on the strong side.
Brooks lost a sneaker. She's trying to defend with one, and a nice backdoor. Robertson with the finish.
I have to say, I never lost a sneaker playing basketball. Lace them up tighter.
33-28. The advantage for the team that keeps their sneakers on here in the first half. Hey, coming up next on ESPN, we'll have the 24th annual WNBA Draft Lottery. For the first 4 picks in next year's draft, the LA Sparks with the best chance at #1. Whoever gets it, no mystery that Paige Beckers is the favorite to be the #1 pick. She's the prize of the draft for sure.
What an incredible year coming off the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the #1 pick last year. Paige Beckers will bring equally an impact, I believe, in a lot of ways.
Leah Boston the year before. That's a couple #1 picks in a row that have gone on to Rookie of the Year honors. Of course, Beckers and UConn, a chance for Gina Auriemma to pass Tara Vanderveer on Wednesday night as the all-time wins leader in college basketball. Then Haley Van Lith is whistled for the charge.
Tiara Cruz explaining to Van Lith, you leaned in with your shoulder. It wouldn't take much to move Trieger, though, if you got her on the hip. Right here, little shove off.
Final minute of this first half. Brooks, mid-range, comes up short. NC State has fallen below 40% shooting here in the first half.
You know what, Beth? NC State hasn't had a lot of possessions where they make 3 or 4 passes.
No.
It's 1 or 2 and a shot.
And where's the dribble drive been?
You know, Wes Moore, so well known for offensive execution. 4 out, 1 in, 5 out we've seen with Trieger on the floor. We haven't seen him play with 5 guards, though. Sedona Prince is a factor in that. It's hard to go 5 guards when you have 6-7 on the floor.
That was the second foul, by the way, on James. 10 on the shot clock. Connor off the bounce. Brooks.
So you got the last shot
One
here.
shot.
That was a good job by Rivers, even though she went under on Connor. She has the length to be able to recover with that wingspan. TCU might trap this.
Brooks off the hesitation, the blow by, and she missed the layup. Second chance, and it's a held ball. And it goes to TCU.
See, Isaiah James is looking at Wes Moore and saying, in a late clock, I want the ball.
Yeah. Van Lith, the launch. And that'll take care of the first half of play. And a good one here in Fort Worth. TCU leading 13th ranked NC. A huge stretch for this program with Notre Dame and South Carolina still to come. 3 ranked opponents in 3 weeks. And what they hope will be a springboard towards a return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2010.
And we talked about this being a test for TCU, and whether his team, Mark Campbell's team, could handle some of the adversity that NC State would show them with their effort, and particularly in their backcourt.
NC State would rather it be a good homecoming for their head coach, Wes Moore, who grew up in the area. And there's a block for Sedona Prince. On Mallory Collier, they just do not have a big right now to match up with Prince.
Prince at 6'7", watch right here. She takes 2 bumps, stays vertical, uses that length.
Offensive foul on James, and it's her third. Well, in what had been a foul-free first half, not many turnovers either, very cleanly played. Oh, they missed her wide open underneath Bigby. Connor goes off the dribble, gets a body into the defender and count it.
Connor showing you she's more than just a tremendous three-point shooter. Second team All Big 12 last year, goes off the bounce right here, gets into the body of Collier. She is the active D1 leader in three-point shooting, and NC State knows it, and you come with a long closeout and she blows by.
Second best in Big 12 history for her career at over 3 threes per game. Only Taylor Robertson at Oklahoma was better, and there's Rivers. Let's see if she is more pronounced in this second half.
She comes up grimacing a little bit, but I like the play call. And then transition defense. Connor getting hot.
Her second triple. And now the biggest lead for either side. James will try and match it and does.
Zia James doesn't need a play run for her, but she's a pretty good decision maker with the ball in her hands. I think Westmore is going to have a heavy dose of Zia James and Sanaya Rivers here in the second.
Oh, Van Lith with the nice cross, but not the finish. Brooks. Madison Hayes. James from deep. And Prince has the rebound. That's her 9th. She's working on another double-double.
They like that pistol action in transition, and you got to come with that closeout on Connor.
She did get the closeout, but Rivers also got the arm bar, and that's her second.
Speed, balance, rhythm, and quickness, freedom of movement, can't disrupt the ball handler.
And a quick 3 fouls already in the quarter for NC State.
We were commenting, neither team turned the ball over, and neither team really got to the free throw line in the first half. That was a good catch between the knees right there.
Connor, and thought Prince was going to spin low block.
It's a good job by Collier to clog it up inside, not give Prince that easy roll to the bucket. Beat her to the spot and got in her path. This is where Westmore becomes the point guard for NC State with his offense in front of his bench.
Rivers, way off, rebound, Collier, she missed it, and neither shot hit the rim.
It's 3 shot clock violations by the Wolfpack in this game.
Prince gets a touch this trip and goes to work for the finger roll.
So smooth.
17 for Sedona. James, coast to coast, and a foul on Bigby.
Sedona Prince, 6'7". Catches with her back to the basket, gets single coverage. He has tremendous footwork right here. Steps around and scores. The ref gives the flop signal, so he wasn't going to call a foul there.
Hits on the first. Don't forget, we've got more women's hoops coming your way midweek. How about the #1 team in all the land? South Carolina on the road, just a short road trip to Clemson Wednesday night on ESPN2. How about the bulletin board material for the Gamecocks this week. Nobody on the Wade watch list for National Player of the Year honors.
That's the first thing I noticed when the 15-player list came out. But you can add and you can take away.
Yeah.
And NC State didn't have anybody on that list either. And TCU didn't have anybody on that list. I don't know how you don't have Malaysia Fulwiley on that list. To me, she's
probably ought to be there.
She's one of the top 5 players in the country.
Tilda Trieger with the foul. If Sedona Prince continues to play like this, you might have to add her to the list later in the year.
I think she's different than all the other 6'7s in the game. If you look at Aoka Lee, or you look at who was at K-State, if you look at Lauren Betts, who's at UCLA, Sedona has range, she has mobility, she's a tremendous shot blocker. I think she has versatility and balance to her game offensively.
Prince with another rebound, and there's the double-double for Sedona.
Icing ball screens again, trying to keep the ball on one side of the floor. But an uncontested mid-range jumper at the nail.
Such a smooth stroke.
The one thing about NC State going against this 2-2-1, Beth, is unless you have to bring 2 to the ball, as James drills another, unless you bring 2 to the ball, you just bring it up the floor against their pressure. If you can advance past it, you do. But otherwise, that's why NC State hasn't turned the ball over much. They have been really good at handling all that.
Van Lith, wide open look. Off the dribble drive from Connor.
No weak side help by NC State. Everyone got sucked in off the bounce.
James, the last 11 points for NC State.
Zaya James, shoot till your arm falls off. The hot hand for the Wolfpack.
There's Hunter.
Get it.
Van Lith, the kick out. Bigby gets another free. So many shooters for TCU, it's hard to locate.
It's a really nice job of lifting on the weak side. There we go, Beth. Okay, this is what we're here for. This is it right here.
Better counter-punching than the Tyson Paul fight this weekend. Prince.
Are you not entertained?
Uh-oh, now you're getting into the Gladiator 2 promo. What an early season show. Hornet Frogs and Wolfpack. And a block on the drive for Bigby. Leads to the breakout the other way. Van Lith.
This is where you got a veteran backcourt on the road. You don't call timeout here. You calm down and run your stuff.
We're going to get a whistle on Prince there.
Well, she can stay more aggressive on the defensive end because she is not in foul trouble and has done a nice job on the perimeter. Watch this, the block to the transition game. Haley Van Lith, eyes to the rim. A little shake, a little shimmy, a nice finish.
Now one more go-round with the Horned Frogs.
Van Lith has Final Four experience with Jeff Walls at Louisville, Elite Eight experience with Kim Mulkey at LSU, a bronze medal from the Olympics with her 3-on-3 experience. And she said to me before the game that playing in the concepts that Mark Campbell has put on the floor for them offensively is very similar to what she experienced playing in the 3-on-3 competition in the Olympics. Basketball is 3-on-3, basically. You're trying to get numbers and advantage on one side of the floor. And NC State right away coming off the timeout gets Sanaya Rivers posted up on the block. Good call from the bench. That's an advantage for Westmore in that matchup.
Van Lith, and there it is. Career 2,000 for Haley Van Lith.
Two coaches very good in their ATOs after timeouts. I'm telling you, Westmore didn't call that timeout before, Beth. He needs to say that this is going down to the end, and you're going to need to be able to advance the ball late in the game.
Oh, and then Van Lith gets the steal. The cross and the kick, Connor for three.
Good contest by Zoe Brooks in transition to get out there on the three-point shooter.
And that ends their streak of 6 straight baskets. The second foul there on Prince.
Well, what an achievement and a milestone for Haley Van Lith. On the drive, 2,000 career points.
In her 138th career start today.
She has 114 wins in her college career already.
Putting up numbers. Trigger and a foul going to be on Prince, and this will be her third.
I like her staying aggressive. As we take a look at the other 6 active 2,000-point scorers, Caitlin Young at Murray State, and I tell you what, Murray State took LSU deep into the 4th quarter the other night. Anissa Morrow, a tremendous scorer, some of those points.
Van Lith's former teammate last year.
Aoka Lee, another 6'7" that we've mentioned before in the game.
Trigger, the 6'6" freshman from Sweden.
Been a quiet game for Madison Hayes for NC State. She's one of their experienced guards on the perimeter.
Only taking 2 shots.
I mean, she's a 50, 40, 80 player.
Van Lith feeling it now, going to work on the left side.
Haley Lith is one of the hardest working players. Competitive fire on both ends of the floor. She told me before the game she learned to play uncomfortably last year because she was in an uncomfortable situation for her, but she welcomed it and she got better from it. And now she's here using her combo guard skills to help Mark Campbell's team.
She scored the last 6 points. Now 15 on the day, looking for the assist, and she's got it to Prince.
They're just dialing it up right now. Whatever Mark Campbell calls, Haley Van Lith is helping him deliver right now. 73% in the 3rd quarter is TCU.
Rivers gets the bounce.
I think Rivers reverting to the block is a good call by Westmore. The last couple of sets, he's taken her inside.
They need a second scorer tonight to help Isaiah James. They also need a way to figure out how to stop this woman right here, Prince. Second chance, count it.
I'm watching that stock go up and up and up for Sedona Prince. How is TCU not ranked? Look at the footwork and the extra effort. At 6'7", when you catch it with 2 feet in the paint, that's going to be 2 points for TCU, or an and 1 in this situation.
I know Michael Volk was watching. We may need an update on the mock draft for the WNBA's first round next year.
Unlike any other 6'7" in the women's game. You can be big and immovable, but when you have the skill that she has, and you know how to use it, and Mark Campbell certainly does.
Stick around, that WNBA draft lottery is coming up next after our game. Find out who will get to pick Paige Becker's #1. Jones, I'll tell you what, that is another assist for this home crowd because NC State is getting faked out by the false shot clock count. That's happened twice.
See Mark Campbell going offense in this substitution right here, putting Haley Van Lith and Madison Connor back in the game.
Get the shooters out there.
I think Haley Van Lith downhill to the nail, Prince on a roll, pick and roll. That's what I'm looking for. Shooters in the corners. This is going to be space the floor. 2 shooters in the corner. Here comes Prince.
There they go.
Here comes the ball screen.
Van Lith will take it herself for 3. Debbie, they heard your play call, just didn't quite execute.
Hey, well, watch a little film. Executed really well in the quarter court in the third quarter. NC State's got a little bit of a hole they got to dig out of, but Isaiah James back on the floor for NC State.
She's playing with 3 fouls. TCU shot 67% in the third, and they're looking to continue that in the fourth.
See, right now, Mark Campbell goes late game set that we have not seen. It's a really good cut.
Rivers will pull up. A lot of the offense has been the guards off the dribble, Debbie. Just 4 assists in the game for NC State,
which is atypical of a Westmore system. You don't have to get it all back at once. If you can cut it in half at the 4-minute mark, make it a 1 or 2 possession game. That's what NC State would be trying to do here. But James with the turnover, and for NC State, they have done a nice job of taking care of the ball. That's just their 6th turnover against full court pressure all game.
TCU, the turnaround under Mark Campbell, 13 more wins last year than the year prior, and then they hit the portal hard, and they hit the jackpot with 6 players, all with experience in winning programs, all with experience in the postseason, and trying to get TCU there. They're, of course, early in their journey, but they haven't been to the NCAA tournament in 15 years. They have never reached the Sweet 16. And a win here today would certainly get them into the top 25. Not sure why they're not there already, but...
Well, the journey for Mark Campbell has been very successful. He had 2 years at Sacramento State where he learned to be a head coach. He told us that he learned about situations and play calling, and it's easy as an assistant to suggest, but when you have the final decision-making power, and he's been more than prepared, spending time with Kelly Graves at Oregon, and here in his 2nd year, you already referenced the best turnaround last year. He's got a very talented team.
Said obviously it starts with the talent, but you've got to find good people that are a good fit. And they seem to have that. Rivers. And Mark Campbell did not like the straight line drive right there.
Well, you got to go under on Sanaya Rivers because you don't want her to have that turn the corner with her quickness.
Oh, it's terrific movement. A lot of weapons for both sides. Van Lith. Haley with 15 tonight, including the 2,000th of her career.
Oh, good fake by Rivers. Fake the dribble handoff.
Debbie, with this talented backcourt, I think it's a matter of finding the hot hand, right? And feeding the hot hand.
Well, when you have good guard play, you can win on the road.
Yep. Prince spinning.
Look at that. Wow.
Keeping that pivot foot down and finding the rim.
I don't know any other 6'7s that can do that. There is a player at Kentucky, though, Silva. Kenny Brooks has got a 6'7 that can really move.
James for 3. Kentucky just got a nice win over Louisville.
In overtime. It's fun, like to have these games in November. What an incredible run the women's game is on, right? The momentum is high. The trend is upward.
Well, they got to be smart. Not a good look.
Not even close.
Connor, nice drop off. Pocket pass to Prince. "19 assists on 30 buckets. Brooks, baseline, no. And Sedona.
And this is the kind of execution that Mark Campbell, now his team playing with a lead. Now, how do they handle this situation, right? This is all part of getting ready to play South Carolina and Notre Dame.
Van Lith, that good two-man game with Prince. And a timeout called by TCU. 30 for Sedona. 17 for Van Lith. Well, the Cowboys season may be in big trouble, but TCU season is just getting started, and it is hot. Can they do what NC State did a year ago and go from unranked in the preseason to a Final Four at the end of the season? It would certainly appear they are about to jump into the top 25 if this score holds over the final 6 minutes.
This is why having an older team matters. You have winners on this team. They've transferred here to come together, and they have done so. And they have excellent pieces.
Looking for their first top 15 win in 7 years. And NC State has a little bit of time left to work with.
Well, Mark Campbell has never had a win over a ranked team.
Would be his first.
I've been impressed with Haley Van Lith's playmaking skills. She had 9 assists in the last game. She's got 9 right now. And this is the first time in her career, Beth, she's been 3-to-1 assist-turnover ratio.
She's working with Prince again. Sedona's got 30 points tonight. 3 shy of her career high as Van Lith whiffs on that one. And the injured player is Maddie Cox, who's back home in her native Texas from nearby Flower Mound. They're already short a post player in Caitlin Weimer, the transfer from Boston University, who is missing her 4th straight game.
And then Lorena Owu, not available today. Coach's decision, not even dressed.
We'll take a timeout, under 5 to go.
On the defensive end, she's a shot-blocking menace, one of the best shot blockers in the nation. Most of the time, she blocks it into their transition game. On the other end, the post-up ability at 6'7", the length, the IQ, the handle, the guard-like skills in a 6'7" body. There's not many women's players like that, certainly not in the college game. And 21 shots, 14 of which she has scored on to give her 30. The rest of the team has 40. What an afternoon for Sedona Prince.
3 shy of her career high. She's overcome injury after injury, was out of the game for a while. And this her 3rd stop after Texas and Oregon.
NC State forced to pick up some pressure. Now here's where Connor goes to work.
Oh, Rivers got out to it.
Almost like to see a little pump fake right there. Let Rivers fly by.
Well, she's been a difference maker in this 4th quarter, keeping them close.
I mean, she covers a lot of ground here, Rivers does. Look at the closing speed and the coverage to knock that out of bounds and let NC State set a gate.
Van Lith weaves inside, no. And a foul on NC State. It's going to go against Collier. Well, they needed a stop and then a score to get this down to a 2-possession game.
Here's another situational offensive possession for Mark Campbell, whose team is excellent in these situations.
Again, they've got all the pieces. They've got the ball handlers. They've got the outside shooters. They've got the inside presence. They've got the experience of playing in Final Fours, of playing on championship conference teams.
And Beth, they have a sense of urgency. They have experienced players. They have won in their previous stops. And they know the connectivity is so important here. Mark Campbell talks about not 1 leader, but 4. Prince and Van Lith and Robertson and Connor, all important pieces to what he's doing. Bigby, they all get it.
The only challenge moving forward is to establish some depth. 4 of their starters have already played over 30 minutes in this one.
I think when Maddie Shear comes off injury, the transfer from Kentucky, she will add some point guard play, some combo guard skills.
And a foul inside on Prince will get Mallory Collier to the line. And that will be her 4th personal foul.
And see, here's the other thing too, Beth, about Prince. You know, she has a basketball IQ about her, particularly on the defensive end, so she might not take as many risks in the beginning of the game. But on this end, in the later stages of the game, when you're not in foul trouble, you do try to get a little more aggressive blocking shots.
Looks like they're going to let her stay and play with the 4. Under 4 minutes to go.
Well, Mark Campbell knows his stars on the precipice of a career high.
Well, and he also knows that NC State is lurking. They missed a chance there to get this down to 2 possessions. Trailed by as many as 12 in this second half. Connor on the drive, little English on that one to swipe it up.
She's been impressive too. Her 3-point shooting we know about, it's on the top of the scout, but her ability off the bounce here in the second half has been legit.
She's got 11.
NC State needs a sense of urgency here to push.
They have playmakers off the bounce on this perimeter.
Haley Van Lith stuffs that backdoor cut.
The kick out, looking for 3. Hayes got it from the corner.
Quiet until now for Madison Hayes.
And there is your 6-point game now with over 3 to go.
2 possessions. Now can you get 2 stops in a row if you're NC State?
Big 4th quarter gut check here from NC State to get back into this. Van Lith to Prince. No.
Good job by Collier stuffing that.
On the run, and the layup is good. James from Rivers.
The full court pressure has bothered TCU.
4-point game.
They haven't turned it over, but they've played a little quicker on the offensive end.
Showing us the heart that got them to the Final Four a year ago. Hunter. Prince. Stepping outside, no.
Now can you hit shots when there's some duress? The pressure and the game pressure has changed.
James for 3, quick on the shot. Almost picked off.
Madison Hayes has done a really nice job here the last couple of possessions. She's 2 for 3. James gets the drive and the kick. Hayes ready to catch and shoot. NC State 7 for 11 here in the 4th quarter.
And Lith are keeping her to the left. The help comes. They swing it around to Connor for the open 3. Scrap for the rebound. Second chance. And a missed layup, and they'll get a 3rd try at it. Number 4 short. Number 5. Relentless on the offensive boards for TCU. That's where missing a big girl hurts NC State.
I mean, look at the effort. Connor, she did reestablish. Prince goes to the free throw line. That's a lot of offensive rebounding in 1 possession.
2 for 2 in the game. Neither side has spent much time here 15 feet away.
That's 4 offensive rebounds in that 1 possession. Up until that point, NC State had only given up 5. This is the game pressure that Mark Campbell was wondering how his team would respond.
They rolled through their first 3 games, and now the challenge against a ranked opponent. Try and win one of these for the first time under Mark Campbell. Brooks taking it and hitting it. From 12.
I think you got to get the ball back to Haley Van Lith on the top of the floor. Right here, two-man game with Prince.
James denying the pick and roll. 5 on the shot clock. The pitch out to Van Lith. No! On the run is Brooks. Off the crossover, into the lane, and she gets it to go! 1-point game, under a minute to play.
Mark Campbell doesn't time out to advance the ball.
There's a steal, takeaway. James, step back three, no. And swooping in for the rebound is Counter, and the heads-up play to knock it off of a Wolfpack player. James choosing to step back for the three when they didn't need one there.
Mark Campbell has 3 timeouts. He's not using his timeouts to advance the ball. He wants to use the full court. NC State needs to be careful about getting beat over the top.
Hunter.
What a fourth quarter by the Pack.
4-second difference. Shot and game clock.
Just want to play good D here. NC State does not have a foul to give.
Van Lith gives it up to Bigby. She'll get into the lane. Scoops it. Bang! 3-point lead and a timeout. NC State. I believe they got it before the inbound so they can advance. Taylor Bigby saw the opening and took it.
Well, look at the spacing of TCU. Isaiah James, her closeout is poor and opens up the middle of the floor, and Bigby takes it off the bounce to the front of the rim, uncontested. NC State's been icing all of that action all game, Beth.
So they did get the timeout and are able to advance it to midcourt where they can inbound with 8.4 seconds to go, needing a 3 to tie it.
I think you got to go for the 3. With 8 seconds left, I think by the time you catch and put it down on the floor one time, if you can make it, unless you can make a direct feed to the post, and if you're going to do that, you're going to invert Sanaya Rivers inside.
There you look at the fourth quarter comeback for NC State. But it is TCU with the 3-point lead.
Remember at the end of the first half, Isaiah James looked at Westmore and said, I want the ball. I'm going with Isaiah James right here for 3. TCU only has 1 team foul.
So they have fouls to give if they want.
I would give them.
Use some here on an inbound.
Now you have to practice this. This is where situations matter. You have to practice.
You don't want to foul her when she's shooting it. 55 straight wins against unranked non-conference foes for NC State. 24 losses in a row for TCU against ranked foes. It's Brooks, and there's a foul with a couple more still to give.
So I'm trying to inbound the ball below the free throw line if I can, because if they're going to continue to foul, that's where you might be able to catch them in the act of shooting, right? From NC State.
Brooks gets away from Hunter and actually wanted to dribble into her, I think.
I mean, you got to know that you got to attack.
She got to lean in to try to get the shot
or
off.
try to do that, but it's too slow developing. Yeah, timeout Westmore. He's got to reconfigure this.
Yeah. So there is, let's see, still one more foul to give for TCU.
I mean, too much time going off right here, and it's almost like Brooks is trying to avoid getting fouled. You got to run the play. And that inbound pass, I think, is too far away from the basket, Beth.
So there is the situation.
So if you're Mark Campbell, you have another foul to give, right? And you're going to chase NC State off the three-point line. If they throw a direct pass to the block, let them score.
Doesn't matter.
Okay? Because right now, you just want to run them. Don't foul. Keep them off the three-point line and let them get a 2. A 2 doesn't beat you. A 3 puts it in overtime.
This would be a huge start for TCU against this big schedule coming up.
Let's see where Sedona Prince is, because I would almost consider putting her on the ball right here to affect the vision.
She will stay underneath. Donovan Hunter's on the ball. NC State needs a 3 to tie it.
Still Isaiah James.
Brooks inbounds.
She gets called, there's a tripping foul. Tripping foul. Okay, so NC, did time go off the clock? I don't think nobody touched the ball. And the foul occurred before. Now the inbound pass is coming underneath the basket.
Boy, that actually helps NC State because now you've given up your last foul and no time off the clock.
Yeah, I thought the ball would be inbounded under the basket. But nobody touched it, so it stays on the sideline.
Okay. So now for Mark Campbell, right, Debbie, do you still choose to foul anyways before they get a shot up and force them to take free throws instead of a 3-point?
I don't know what Mark's philosophy is here, but with this much time on the clock, I would not consider that strategy right here. I might put Sedona Prince on the inbounder and let her affect the vision. Also, it gives Westmore a chance to sub in case he wants to take Trieger out. However, he has confidence in Trieger as a 3-point shooter.
Isaiah James has 5 triples that they even put 2 bodies on her.
You can't, once again, you don't get beat by a 2. Trieger has not made a 3, but he's going to leave the 6'6" center in. It's all Isaiah James right here to me.
All right, so James is on the low right block with Van Lith on her.
Switch on everything.
Brooks to inbound. James comes high. Isaiah James got it. Good if it goes. No good. And TCU has its signature win under Mark Campbell.